Welcome to the Jamie Taylor Show podcast, and I am coming to you live from my home here in Warfield, Kentucky. And tonight is a historical night, and it is the 30-man over the top rope Royal Rumble, which is also the 30th edition of the Royal Rumble. And here on our podcast, we're going to talk about the 8 matches that are scheduled for this year's Royal Rumble. Then I will also give you my prediction. Who do I think will win the 2017 Royal Rumble? First of all, the great the great women's matches will be awesome. You have Sasha Banks taking on Nia Jax, and I don't when I look at the Sasha Banks and Nia Jax, I don't think that Sasha Banks is going to be able to defeat because of Nia Jax's superior strength and that she has dominated Sasha Banks on a couple episodes of Raw. So I don't think that Sasha Banks is going to be able to withstand Nia Jax coming up at the Royal Rumble. Also, another great match that I'm looking forward to is for the Raw Tag Team Championships with 2 referees, and of course the Cesaro and Sheamus to meet Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And with 2 referees, we all know what Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson can do. The same situation with Cesaro and Sheamus on what they can do, and you might as well say, and with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson had has not been able to fare too well with Cesaro and Sheamus. So I think. And my prediction in this match, and I think Cesaro and Sheamus will walk out as the World Tag Team Champions at the Royal Rumble. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And of course, you can also watch the pre-show of the Royal Rumble coming up this evening at 5 p.m., 2 hours long. Royal Rumble special start times at 7 p.m. How about that? And of course, with Jerry the King Lawler and Shawn Michaels will be a part of that pre-show coming up. So it's going to be interesting. Also, the third match is also a women's tag team match. Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi against Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. And I think when you look at the experience of Mickie James and Natalya, and when you look at the accomplishments of what Mickie James has accomplished in her tenure here in the WWE, and going into the Royal Rumble, I think that Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi is going to be the downfall, and I think that Alexa Bliss, Mickie, and Natalya will come out as victors here in the Royal Rumble. So it's going to be interesting to see that all-important 6 women divas match. So I basically cannot wait for that. Also, the Cruiserweight Championship is, I was never too fond of the cruiserweights, even though they can do some amazing attributes inside the square circle. When you think of Rich Swann taking on Neville, Neville has gained this heel prospect, which everybody says that Neville could be going into an bad guy sort of thing. Rich Swann, on the other hand, is the baby face. And going into tonight's Cruiserweight Championship match, and I think that Neville could be the odds-on favorite to win the Cruiserweight Championship. But again, you got to hand it to Rich Swann, who knows what the outcome could come of the Cruiserweight Championship match at the Royal Rumble. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing of what the Cruiserweights can do inside the square circle coming up tonight at the Royal Rumble. A Divas match that I'm interested to see, and that is for the Raw Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair and Bayley. And I really, even though that Bayley holds numerous victories over Charlotte, and I really do hope that Bayley will win, because I really like Bayley a lot. I mean, she has this hype about her. I like Bayley. Hopefully that Bayley will walk out with the Raw Women's Championship here at the Royal Rumble. But again, I think that when it boils down to it, I think Charlotte Flair will come out on top because of the she's 15-0 in pay-per-view appearances. So I think Charlotte Flair may come out on victory on that. So it's going to be interesting to see these predictions that I will make as we go through. The no disqualification match for the WWE Universal Championship. Chris Jericho will be suspended in a shark cage above the ring. I'm in the outcome of this. I've got some bad feelings about this match, and as the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns could a shark cage be enough to hold Chris Jericho, which will be suspended above the ring? It's been a long time since he's seen somebody. The last time I think I saw somebody suspended above the ring, which was Jerry the King Lawler, who actually had a nosebleed on that. I think it was on that edition, maybe on a pay-per-view or something. But anyways, you gotta think some evil attentions coming up from Chris Jericho, even though that he is going to be suspended above the ring. Who knows what could happen. But I think Roman Reigns will be walking out of the Universal Champion, and of course the match. This is the match that I want to see. Is for the WWE Championship, AJ Styles and John Cena. John Cena is one championship away to realizing that dream of tying Ric Flair with the most WWE championships. John Cena is at 15, Ric Flair at 16. So I think it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a good match. I'm thinking that AJ, with John Cena chasing that 16-time World Championship, look for AJ Styles to be disqualified in that match to keep the belt around John Cena. So that's what's going to happen. AJ Styles will be disqualified and retain the WWE Championship. And I lost my pen to, here it is. to go through these addictions. My predictions on certain things that's going to take place here at the 30th Royal Rumble. I can't believe it. We've been on the air for like 10 minutes. And normally I normally do these hour-long podcasts, but I may do a little bit of a short one. Here is my predictions for the Royal Rumble. And Nia Jax is going to be the victor in the Sasha Banks, because I don't think that Sasha Banks is going to be able to beat Nia Jax, because if you have never seen Nia Jax before, I mean, she is huge. She has dominated Sasha Banks week in, week out on Raw. So look forward to seeing Nia Jax victory in the Royal Rumble. Also, the my predictions again for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship with two special guest referees, and I'm gonna go down on record and saying that Cesaro and Sheamus will walk away with the Tag Team Championship. A lot of people didn't think that Cesaro and Sheamus will be able to beat the New Day, as we saw what happened in that in the Tag Team Championship match. See here, I think it might have been at Roadblock. But I think Cesaro and Sheamus really make a really great team. After Sheamus departed the League of Nations, they have really been a great tag team. And if they can continue to be on the same page, we could see Cesaro and Sheamus walk out as tag team champions, and still be the tag team champions at the Royal Rumble. And the predictions for the 6 women tag team match: Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss taking on, be taking on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. And I'm gonna go and say that I think Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya is going to be the winner of that Divas 6, because they have 2 experienced players that's going to be a factor in that match. Mickie James and Natalya, both of those divas know their way inside the ring. Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi have been around for a while, but the more experience that you have in that ring, the better your chances at surviving. So, as far as the 6 women tag team match goes, look for Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya victory in that all important 6 women divas, or 6 women match. I forgot. There's no such thing as divas now. It's women's. So I'm still used to the whole surrounding. My predictions for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship: Rich Swann and Neville. Neville's been around a lot longer than Rich Swann has. Look for Neville to walk out as the new face of the Cruiserweights. So definitely look for definitely look for Neville to walk out of the Royal Rumble as the Cruiserweight champion. As far as the Raw women's match between Charlotte Flair and Bayley, I would have definitely, even though that Bayley has a lot to prove, even though that she holds victories, and I'm going to go on record and say that Charlotte Flair is going to walk out of the Royal Rumble as the winner and walk out as still the Raw Women's Championship. So Charlotte Flair winner over Bayley. That's what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble. And again, these are my predictions. Either one of these could be wrong. I want to know if I'm right, if I'm wrong. So this is going to be interesting. In the no disqualification match, and I think, as far as the no disqualification match for the WWE Universal Championship between Chris Jericho will be suspended in a shark cage above the ring. Look for Roman Reigns to walk out of the Royal Rumble as the WWE Universal Champion. So definitely look for that. And of course, the match for the WWE Championship, AJ Styles. Look for AJ Styles to get disqualified or something. I don't think that John Cena is going to win the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, despite of that. So look for AJ Styles being victorious in that. And of course, the winner of the 2017 Royal Rumble. There's a lot of odds-on favorite going into that. The Undertaker has won. Brock Lesnar has won. And look for some surprises. But I think, hands down, and I think look for Goldberg to win this year's Royal Rumble. And of course, Big Show has never won a Royal Rumble. Could it be Big Show's chances to win the Royal Rumble? So look for Goldberg to win the 2017 Royal Rumble. And of course, and as we adventure toward to WrestleMania, is wondering, and especially going into tomorrow night's edition of Raw, of how exciting things to get. And of course, the Royal Rumble pre-show starts at 5 o'clock this evening. Royal Rumble kicks off at 7. Shawn Michaels, and we'll be there, of course, with Shawn Michaels. And this year's Royal Rumble is in Shawn Michaels' hometown of San Antonio. And this will do it for this episode of the podcast. I finally got the third episode of the podcast in. Maybe a little bit shorter, but normally my podcasts are, especially if something big has to happen. We will continue to do this. Once again, my name is Jamie Taylor. Thank you for watching the podcast, and of course, you can find more of my podcasts videos on YouTube and all. Thank you for joining us for this edition of the podcast. My name is Jamie Taylor. We'll catch you down the road. Bye.